What's up guys, Uncasual Gamer here, and yeah, welcome back to the channel. I've not made a video for a long time. I think it's been like 3 or 4 months. Big changes to the game room, which probably if you've seen the last video, we'll explain that a few months ago. And I thought what better place to start really than going through some of my recent pickups, because I've added some really good things to the game room in these last few months. Not necessarily like amazing bargain finds as such, but just some really cool items that I've kind of wanted for a long time. They're all like fairly on the not expensive side, not like stupidly expensive, but they're all on the pricey side. They're not cheap bargain games or anything. So 3 of these pickups are pretty, what I think, impressive things. And I'd say all 3 are also more display items for the room. They're not just games that slide into a shelf. They are things that are on display in the room. In fact, 2 of them actually you probably can see in shot around me now, but we'll talk a little bit more in depth about them as the video goes on. So without further ado, let's get into the first pickup. So this item actually came out, I think it was at the start of summer, and when I actually first realised the item existed was after it had already been released. I realised it had been released on the day of release, so unfortunately I didn't manage to get a copy. I was a bit gutted because it's a part of a video game franchise or series that is in my top 3 ever. I've got like a little shrine, probably gives it away behind me on one of these shelves here. And it's 2 games that I absolutely love both of them. And then what happened was somebody, I think it was Retro Uncovered on Instagram, I'll put a link down to the channel below, who kind of deal in like sealed games and stuff. They put on their story, look, this is back in stock. I think it was for like a limited time, it's on the PlayStation website. They were already selling more than what they were already selling on the aftermarket, sorry, in the secondary market for more than what PlayStation was selling from brand new. And that's because it is a collector's item and that's how it's built. It's a collector's edition. And that is, I can open it, The Last of Us, the complete collector's edition. Now this is on the PS5, but the box is actually massive. It's still in the box because I don't want to get damaged. I don't want to get sun damage or anything. I'm waiting to try and find an acrylic plastic case to put it in. So the moment it's just staying in the cardboard box until I've got something to display it in. Will I open this? I'm not 100% sure. As you can probably see behind me, I've got, I think, both games now 4 times. So I've got like 4 different versions of The Last of Us, the first one, and I've got 4 different versions now, including this one, of The Last of Us Part 2. So I don't really need this. You know, I've got both games on the PS5. But yeah, being like a collector, obviously, and The Last of Us has been one of my favourite, my top 3, game franchises, game series of all time. I really wanted this in collection. I think it was £110 on PlayStation. Like I say, they are selling for a little bit more, about 140, I think, over on eBay and Vinted, etc. Yeah, it's really heavy. So obviously for a PlayStation game, it hasn't got a figure or anything in it. I think it's kind of got like some artwork. It might have some magnets or pins, that kind of thing. But yeah, it looks really good. I absolutely love the artwork on the front and the back of it. And what can I say? You know, if you're a The Last of Us fan, then this was kind of a must-own for me. So yeah, super happy to have this in collection. I now just need to find somewhere to display it, get a case, and then find somewhere on the shelf to display it. Just to give you an idea as well of how big it is. If I pick out like, let's grab a normal PS4 game. So a normal PS4 game, it is literally like not quite twice the height, but it's pretty close to being twice the height. And in terms of depth, again, I'll put some B-roll up so you can see. But the depth as well is probably like 3 times as depth as a normal game. So it is a fairly big-ish box. Let's move on to the second item. So the second big item that I picked up in recent months is this, which is just sat over here to my left. It is the Alexios statue from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So I never played Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Assassin's Creed are some of my, again, favourite games, especially growing up, from 1 all the way through to like Black Flag-ish. Were some of the best games I've ever played. Absolutely love them, adore the games. Number 2 is my favourite out of the series. And then when they changed the style and went into, I think it was Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, etc. And I think Shadows, the new one, is quite similar to that as well. I kind of lost interest. I weren't bigger fans of them. You know, I do like RPGs and more open world games, but Assassin's Creed for me was always more of like a linear storyline, and I love the story, and I loved like the linear story of Assassin's Creeds, and that's how they were for me. Recently, I was kind of this summer waiting for games to come out in October. I had nothing to play. I say nothing to play. I've got like 1,000 games behind me, but you know what I mean. Went on Game Pass, downloaded Assassin's Creed Odyssey, thought I'd give it a go. Got absolutely hooked on it. Spent over 100 hours completing everything on the game, 100%ed it, got all the achievements, and yeah, I think I don't actually think I own the base game of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is bizarre on any console. I think it was only out on the PS4 and the Xbox One. Just looking on my shelf, I don't think I do own it. I've got Valhalla, don't have Odyssey, and yeah, obviously in the game, loved Alexios, the character. Played this in for over 100 hours, so I thought, I need to represent this game in the game room somehow. So I went on eBay and yeah, picked up this, which is like absolutely love it. I think it looks absolutely incredible on the shelf. Annoyingly, I have got the back weapon, the sword that's missing just up here, but it's fallen down the back one of my shelving units, and when these shelving units are full of games, they weigh an absolute ton, so you can't move them very easily. So I'm gonna have to wait for a week when I've got a bit of time to pull the shelving unit out and get the other sword out, which is a bit frustrating, but it is what it is. This did come fully boxed, and the box is absolutely huge. I've been storing it next to my Xbox Series X box up at the top here, and I think it's probably bigger than the Series X box. That gives you an idea as to how big this is. And the figure itself is also, it's big. It doesn't look that big, but it is quite a big figure, a big statue. And yeah, the box, what also comes in here, it also comes with an artwork, it comes with a map, it comes with the CD. I'm not actually sure if this one came with the game or not. It looks like it actually didn't include the game, at least not on disc. I'm not 100% sure. It says on the back a few things. Obviously the game's on Game Pass, that's where I played it, or through Game Pass plus Ubisoft if you've got Game Pass Ultimate, etc. But yeah, super happy to have it in the game room. It obviously looks like absolutely awesome on the shelf, in my opinion. It's definitely something that stands out amongst all the other stuff, and it's nice to not just have like hundreds of games lined up. It's nice sometimes to have other things, and that's why I've got the controllers and the Halo things and for my favourite games dotted around the room. Right, let's move on to another pickup in recent months, and again, this one is a little bit more of a recent pickup. If you watch Retro Ghetto videos, you'll know that he collected all of the, I think he's got a full set, maybe he's actually missing 1 or 2 games, I think. He was collecting all the red PS3 Essential games and all of the red PS4 Hits games, which are down here on my right. Now, I've only got like 15 of each, I think, on my shelf. I think Essentials, there are like over 200, and I think PlayStation Hits, there are between 50 and 100, so not quite as many. So yeah, I've been picking them up. It's not something that I'm kind of actively going online and searching for and hunting for, but when I'm out in CEX, when I'm out game hunting, if I do see them, I'm tending to pick them up, especially if they're at good prices and cheap. So yeah, I've picked a lot of these up recently, and what I wanted on the shelf, just to make this kind of, I love how the red looks. I'm hoping to, finish off this shelf at some point and have all the red along. I wanted the red PS3. So yeah, I picked this up. It was, again, going back to Retro Ghetto. It was from somebody on the Discord, or on his Discord, called Jordan. So thanks, Jordan, for hitting me up. He had one for sale. He was selling it for cheaper than what CX do. I think it was about the voucher price what CX give you. So it was a good price. Came with the controller. So yeah, he sent me this across. Annoyingly, it did take a little bit of a bump in the post. No fault of Jordan's, it came really, really well wrapped and packaged. But you know what? Hermes, I think it was, Avery now alike, when they're delivering parcels, they kind of throw them around. So it did take a little bit of a bump. But it looks awesome. It's on the shelf. I don't want to move it because it's propped up at a certain angle at the moment. And I'm scared that if I take it out of that angle, it's going to slip and fall. It has got like a little bit of trunking underneath it to hold it in place. But yeah, I just think that this section of the game room, when it's all kind of red across there, will look really, really good. And that's what I'm hoping to achieve. So yeah, I just need to now carry on hitting up the PS4 Hits and the PS3 Essentials when I'm out and about game hunting. So yeah, they're kind of the big 3 hitters at the moment. They're kind of the 3 main things that I've collected over the recent months. Obviously, we've still been collecting irregular games. I think in terms of Xbox 360, we've been adding to that as and when we see games in the shop that we've not got, in charity shops, in CX, etc. I think we're up to like 250 games now on the 360. And the other subset I've been collecting for is the Lego sleeve covers. So here they are. We're up to 6 now. I think the last video I did, I only had 3. I think we already had Harry Potter sleeve. We had the Marvel supervillains in the sleeve. And I think we had the Incredibles in the sleeve. And since then, what we've also picked up is Lego Worlds. We've picked up Lego Jurassic Park. And we have picked up Lego Marvel Superheroes too. Yeah, these are a really nice subset. Obviously in the sleeves, they look really, really good. I think I'm hoping to get all 11 of them. And when I've got all 11 of them, I think it's 11 in total, they're going to go on display hopefully on one of the shelves down here. I am planning another video next week where I'll be curating my Nintendo DS collection because a lot of that is just shovelware and rubbish. So yeah, I'll be curating that and hoping to create shelf space for these so I can have these displayed nicely along a shelf. If you are trying to collect these, I know a lot of people are, a couple of tips. Number one is that I'm not going for all the same consoles. So some of these are PS4, some of these are Xbox One. And secondly is that Amazon do them and they're not a bad price. Amazon have them all. Sometimes they dip under £10 brand new with a sleeve. They don't say the sleeve on the Amazon listing. What they say is, I think it's Amazon exclusive, and it's got a picture, not a picture of the sleeve, but the cover art is what is on the sleeve. So yeah, I know people on eBay are selling them second hand for around £10 mark. A lot of these you can pick up. There's a couple of rarer ones that I've not got yet. I think Ninjago's the rarest. But yeah, Amazon, when they do drop under £10, I've just been waiting for each one, keeping an eye on them. When they drop to £8, £9 at certain times, and Black Friday, they probably will drop again. I've been picking them up then. So yeah, that's just another subset I've been collecting at the moment, and probably hoping to get this done by the end of the year. And then finally, just before I finish, I actually forgot I picked up these. Recently I went abroad, and I know a lot of people currently in the UK are collecting the PSP Essentials. So much like the PS3 Essentials, which are red, well, unlike the PS3 Essentials, which are red, the PSP Essentials are this really weird orange colour. It's actually almost impossible to read the spines of these games. Now, Callum over on Retro Ghetto first highlighted these with his mate Kev. Callum is really not a fan of these, it's fair to say. In fact, he hates them, I'm pretty sure. However, it's got people collecting them. I think Kev has now got the full set, or he's going for a full set, and lots of people over on Retro Ghetto Gang Discord are now collecting these. I've not seen any of these in my local CEX over in Halifax or in the Bradford one, I don't think. Very rarely. I mean, they've only got smallish PSP sections anyway. But I recently went abroad and I was in Europe, and the shop had a few of these and they were like really cheap. So the Pirates of the Caribbean one, not worth a lot anyway, even in this country, but €1. And then I got Toy Story 3 and Spider-Man: Web of Shadows. Again, both these were like, I think they were like €3 each. And I know just because people are collecting them at the moment in this country, they are going for more. So I probably should have picked up some more, but I didn't want to fall in the trap of going for a collection of these. You know, my priority at the moment is Lego sleeves, the PS3 Essentials, PS4 hits, Xbox 360. So look, I don't need anything else to collect at the moment. So I picked these up. They're just going to go in the PSP selection, the PSP collection down at the bottom. And hopefully I am not urged or inclined to start collecting any more of these, because if I am, yeah, it's going to be a slippery slope, like most things for video game collectors. So yeah, there you have it. There are some of my recent pickups. If you've enjoyed the video, please do drop me a like and even a comment just to say you've watched it would be really, really helpful, and I'm really grateful for that. It'd be very much appreciated. And also, if you are enjoying the content, please do subscribe. Like I said, not done many videos recently, but I'm hoping in the next few months I'll be able to do some more regular updates, maybe hopefully each week. Like I said, next week I've got a video on curating my Nintendo DS collection, which is something that I've needed to do for a long, long time. So yeah, looking forward to that. Thank you for watching as always, and keep gaming.